Oh, so now it's working. It said something with broadcasting is not working. So, welcome to the Facebook Live. It's Wednesday. It's October 7. This is episode 29. I have to check how many episodes I've had since March 11. Where did the time go? What's happening in your world? I hope you're all safe, you and your families, and you're doing good with what you can, and be mindful of what's happening at the moment. I don't know, some of you might realize there was no Facebook Live last week. I wasn't available. Interestingly enough, nobody asked, where were you? What happened? Are you okay? Isn't that interesting? Nobody. So to me, that goes to show if you're always there, people get used to it. Okay, it's every Wednesday at a certain time, she talks about something, and maybe one Wednesday she's not there. Nobody saw that. And this to me is also an indication of if you're not there anymore, it's easy to replace you. It's very easy to replace you. So everybody is replaceable. So don't think you're irreplaceable. Everybody can be replaced, even if it's just a Facebook Live. What did you do last week, Wednesday? On the other hand, I've heard from other people, you're putting out a lot of information. Is that a good compliment or is that a critique? What kind of a feedback is that? You're putting out a lot of information. I like to share a lot of information, and so far I've posted 96 podcast episodes with probably 70 different people that I have interviewed so far, 70 different people that I know out of my network. You might be one of them. And if you want to be one of them, reach out to me, we can set a date, and you can become one of my podcast guests. I want to invite people who are interesting, who have something really interesting to share. And some people say, I don't have anything interesting to share. Well, paint a picture. Paint a better picture. Everybody can have a nice and cool life story. Yesterday I spoke to David. He is interested in Ikikai. Ikikai is a Japanese way of thinking, and it's the way of finding a purpose, a calling, and also just what are you good at and what is your Ikikai that you are sharing with the world? So what are you sharing with the world that nobody else has? How can we unleash your superpower, what you have? Maybe it's hidden, it's dormant, but it's there. Everybody has a superpower. What is yours? What is your Ikikai? Ikikai sounds very cool, right? So listen to that episode. I think it will be airing in 2 weeks. But today and Monday, I spoke with Gaston, who is the executive coach and facilitator at the Asian Leadership Institute. We were talking about his 5 months trekking in the Himalayas. 5 months. So many times I hear and see people, well, yeah, we went trekking. They go for 3 days, 5 days, whatever your busy schedule allows. He and his wife went for 5 months. And his learning were sleep enough, eat enough, respect the mountains. Sometimes you also have a plan. You plan something to the tiniest detail, and then it doesn't work out. And probably in the mountains, it's the weather. It might snow, it might rain, or the terrain is just not possible to pass, or it's really dangerous. Especially in the Himalayas, there can be an avalanche or rocks can come down. So you have to be mindful. You have to stop. You have to change your plans. What about now? Now we have to change our plans. Since March, we cannot say we go back to how it was in February or January or last year. The world has changed. So we need to adapt, and we need to be flexible to adapt to what's working for us. And think you are replaceable. So give your best that you have today and share with the world. There's nothing wrong to share your knowledge. We need what you have. And I was listening to a video conversation with Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is one of the Shark Tank, actors, investors, whatever we want to call him. And he says somebody will come up with a tremendously great idea that nobody would have thought of. And it might not be somebody that we know already. It probably is somebody who doesn't have a paycheck. Somebody's desperate and hungry to put out a new, great, novel, innovative idea that we've never had before. What can it be? And he even said he doesn't know what it is. So what could it be? If you think you have a great idea, please make sure to elaborate on that idea and showcase it now. Disrupt now. Do it. Why not? What can you lose? When you listen to today's news of that 36,000 airline employees potentially will lose their job, a lot of jobs are being cut. What do you do when you don't have a job? You have to become creative. Obviously, we know everybody has to pay their rent, their mortgage. You have other payments to do. This is probably priority number one, looking for a new job. But if there's no jobs, you have to be creative, innovative, and find a solution. It might be something totally different. I've spoken and written in my blogs many times. What else can you do? I mean, me as a solo entrepreneur, do I do always coaching? No, I have organized events, I've been teaching, I do consulting, or if people need some translation sometimes, I've helped out in that. That was one of my passions. I wanted to become a translator. Now I don't think I need to do that anymore, but I was happy to help out with a project and just help out. Why not? Helping out, volunteering can get you to the next level. Volunteer for something that you are passionate about. What can it be? Plant the seeds. And when you think about gardening in the northern hemisphere, it's the fall season that's starting. So I think the earth is starting to rest, and we cannot harvest whatever we have harvested in the summer. But if you plant the seeds, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, you can harvest. What can that be? And whoever is a gardener, I mean, I like to have my herb garden. That's the extent of my gardening at the moment. Then you also have to add water, add fertilizer, maybe sometimes talk to the plants. Okay, you look very good. And what does it take? It takes patience. Your seedlings, they don't just go from one day to the next and the flowers are there, or the fruits can be harvested, or the salad or the vegetables are there for you to consume. No, it takes time. So think in those terms. It takes time, and we all know when you have good ideas, they take a little longer. That's also my thing. Sometimes I don't have too much patience. I like to have everything done in a nanosecond, in a New York City second, but everything that looks good, is good, takes a lot of hours. It's that concept of 10,000 hours. Do you think 10,000 hours are enough? I think this is our lifelong project. So becoming a coach doesn't happen overnight. We hear of many people, I'm a coach. Yeah, I mean, I studied psychology, I have a master's in leadership and organizational development, I've taken a coaching certification, I've been coaching for the past, I would say, 10 years. 10 years. If you counted 10,000 hours, it's about 3 years of non-stop doing what you want to become an expert in. It's a long time. It takes a little more. And with the coaching, if you listen carefully to what Gaston has to share, we also have to update our skills. However, I coached maybe 5 years ago is not relevant anymore. I mean, the basic concept of what's on your mind, asking good questions, and mainly listening, probing questions, picking up the pace or slowing up the pace to what the client needs, that's a given. That's coaching. Coaching is not telling you what to do. Coaching is unleashing your potential, awakening your potential. Have you thought of this? What about this? Have you been connected with the greatest people in the industry? These are the questions I'm asking. Not like, why haven't you done this, or you're not good at this. No, this is not coaching. Coaching is to uplift you, empower you, and get you to the next level. I'm inviting you to have a session with me if you want. It doesn't hurt. It's on Zoom. Why not, right? I've said it many times. So I want to keep this short, but as I said before, some people say you're producing a lot. Yes, this is true. Thank you very much for that feedback. But on the other hand, if you don't show up once, nobody said anything. I thought that was an interesting experiment. So if somebody doesn't show up anymore, maybe check in with them. Hey, what's happening? You have been providing a Facebook Live for 27 weeks and all of a sudden you're not there anymore? Okay. See what's happening. So everybody is replaceable, but come up with a great idea. Be creative, be innovative, and dare, be bold. We wouldn't have Madonna, Lady Gaga among us. Sheryl Sandberg says, what would you do if you were not afraid? I think everybody is a little afraid. So what would you do if you don't have any obstacles like money, time? Now you have the time. Develop something. What would you do if you were not afraid? So again, Monday, Wednesday, we have podcasts, and sometimes even on Saturday. This week, the main focus is on mindfulness and what Gaston and his wife learned on their trek of 5 months in the Himalayas. Then my weekly blog is coming out on Friday, Facebook Live every Wednesday, if it's possible. And I think that's about it. So send me questions if you have any. If you need to polish up your LinkedIn profile, I can help you with this. Let's see. And most of all, stay safe, stay happy, stay sane. Wear your mask. This is your task in those difficult times. I wish you a wonderful Wednesday and a very good rest of the week. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.